and welcome to the Bowl Show, all thanks to Bowls Australia and powered by Drinkwise and Aero Bowls. This week on the Bowl Show, we see if the Adelaide Pioneers can break their finals hoodoo by progressing past the elimination stage in their contest against the Gold Coast Hawks. Val, as I welcome you in, you reckon they can do it? Hello and welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. It's great to be here, and I'm really looking forward to this contest. Can the Pioneers finally get past that fourth barrier? Who knows? This is their fourth event in a row where they've gotten to at least fourth. Let's see what they can do and if they can keep going. Or can the Gold Coast Hawks continue this fairy tale run? They finished last at BPL 20. BPL 21, they're in the finals. Who knows what's going to happen? Yeah,
so we'll have a story either way. The fairy tale run for either team. We'll find out shortly in our preview of this match a little bit later on. Of course, we're here all thanks to Aero and their Actuality logo. Personalise your set of Aero bowls with any logo you wish. Aero's patented process prints onto your bowl permanently in full colour. So be sure to visit Aero Bowls and get your hands on these set of premium bowls. Let's open with some news from across the bowls world, and this is all thanks to OMF. Better sleep, better performance, every match, every day. And the National Development Series squads have been announced for July's Club Helensvale event. Val, this event is really building on the momentum of bolstering the next generation of great talent.
Yeah, July 22 to 24, I believe, at Club Helensvale, and it's an amazing event, and I've spoken to a lot of the players that have played in it already, and it's been a nice little springboard for a lot of them that have actually made their way into the Right at Home Jackaroos squad, Jordan. So it's amazing to see all of these players get rigorous tournament conditions. So these are World Bowls tournament conditions. They go and recover at the end of every day. They have team meetings. This is invaluable experience to so many of these players. It's open and para, so it just shows how inclusive this sport is. It truly is a wonderful event, and the high performance team do such a wonderful job of putting it together.
Yeah, well done to all those selected, and good luck for the events ahead. As we move on, it's time for Have You Heard? All thanks to Audica. Be hearing Healthy with Audica. What have you got for us this week, Val?
Well, you would have seen at the recent AO, Jordan, Bowls TV.
Yes.
Bowls TV is here. So we are very excited about this. bowlstv.com.au. You can go through, sign up, it's free. There are zero costs. You get on-demand live coverage. Yep. You get replays, all the tournaments that we're going to be streaming. It's all going to be on here. bowlstv.com.au. Free to sign up, Jordan.
How much Val Febbo are we getting on Bowls TV?
There's probably going to be a fair
bit. Going to be a bit?
So, yeah, look, if you like me, you'll probably enjoy it. If you don't, then, well, it might not be for you.
It's reason enough for me to sign up, just to see a bit of you. Of course, the great bowls as well,
yeah.
but...
Well, I'm not on camera. It's my voice.
Hearing your lovely tones, that's all I need.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
The dulcet tones of Val Febbo.
Too kind.
Let's get stuck into today's feature match on the Bowl Show as we relive all the action from the 21st edition of the BPL in February. And as mentioned, it's the Adelaide Pioneers trying to crack into the semis and prelim stages of the final series up against the Gold Coast Hawks. Val, take us through the lineups, all thanks to Right at Home. The Right Care, Right at Home, Australia's premier in-home care provider.
Yeah, so this is going to be brilliant. The Gold Coast Hawks, they've got Nathan Rice, Kelsey Cottrell, Nick Brett in his second edition at the tournament. We've seen him go viral with a couple of things here and there across his time, especially at Potters. There's one bowl in particular that did go viral. This is a very good team. Mark Thatcher leading them, and Adelaide Pioneers. It's Wayne Rudiger, Scott Thorborn, and Caitlin Inch with their coach Les Carter. So looking forward to seeing how this one pans out.
Excellent. There are the lineups. Our coverage of the BPL 21 Elimination Final begins right after this short break, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Bowl Show, all thanks to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise, and Aero Bowls. We are here at the Moama Bowls Club for the second elimination final of the BPL 21 tournament between the Adelaide Pioneers and the Gold Coast Hawks. Let's crack into the action.
BPL 21 looking for their inaugural title, Carla.
Yeah, wouldn't that be exciting to see a team go all the way from fifth right the way through to the final? It makes it a really big night for them, but you make the finals, it's a possibility.
Sure is. Tweed Ospreys know all about that. Unfortunately, their evening is done. And joining Clive Adams first up for this second elimination final is Christina Christic. Clive.
Thank you, Liam. Yes, I think there is an advantage here. We'll talk about it a little bit in a sec. Christina Christic, welcome.
Thank you. Another exciting finals night.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, this warmer conditions has made a change to this rink, and we always talk about that advantage of having been on, and we just heard Liam and Carla talk about it there. Feel like it might be bigger than ever, so we'll see how this one pans out. The Hawks are going to want to adjust to this quick. I hope they were paying attention during their little roll-up that they get.
Oh, it's not always good to watch too much. Maybe just, use the roll-up and get the feel, but Lurch has started off pretty well there, got the pace straight away, so that's a good sign for them.
All right, Wayne Rudiger starting on the mat for the Pioneers, as we saw in the last matchup with Scotty T at the skipper's end. Nick Brett skippering and Nathan Rice on the mat for the Hawks. It's an amazing run for the Hawks. They squeezed in by beating the Pioneers in round 22. In the final round, they had to win that match, and they got it done. They're minus 40 shots across the tournament, the Hawks. So that tells us the big moments have been working for them. Yes, they might have lost a few sets here and there, but when the whips have been cracking and they've had to come up with the big shots, they've obviously done it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many shots we have, minus, but at the end of this event, but I know that they were coming sixth before the start of today, so it was a little bit wishy-washy for them, and I knew they had to win both, and they did it, so kudos to them.
Minus 22 for the Suns.
Oh, that's all right then. We defended well to an extent.
Nathan Rice in the area again. Just needs it to run. The line was perfect. Of course, we've seen Nathan Rice play 3 perfect bowls before. At an Australian Open pairs final, we saw him play 3 perfect bowls. It wasn't to be in the most recent Australian Open pairs final as Jack McShane and Joey Clark took the title, but Nathan Rice came up with 3 bowls under all sorts of pressure to get that one to an extra end. So we know he can play the big bowls, and incredible experience. All right, Nick Brett and Scotty Thalborn come down this end to see what they can contribute to this one. Couple to the Hawks as we change over. Been a different week for the Suns, especially for you, Chrissy, with playing up the pointy end a little bit more in the back half of BPL 21. You've enjoyed it?
Yeah, the 3 of us have really, really enjoyed this week. Obviously, it's always better to be winning, but yeah, I found, we were kind of finding our feet the first day. We didn't come home with any wins on the first day, unfortunately, but we kind of found our groove in the second day.
Long way back from there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, unfortunately. So hopefully this is a good learning curve for next time.
Sure, Scotty Thalborn, tightish line here, needs to find a way past the front. He caught a little edge.
Just run through.
Just rolled too far, of course. Pioneers' fortune was on their shoulder a little bit during that previous match with a big hit when the Ospreys looked like they might be working their way back in, and Scotty with some aggression got a prime result. Nick Brett makes the adjustment.
They've adapted well to the green, the Hawks.
I just feel like these conditions just might suit Nick Brett. Just have a feeling on that. We'll wait and see how it pans out.
Spidey senses are telling you.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Scotty T needs it to get down from that line now. Just going to be on the outside of the Hawks bowl.
Just rolling them in for 3.
Looks like at least 2. 3 is the signal from Nathan Rice, and that's enough for Nick Brett to.
Cover the back, I think.
He certainly doesn't want to fill that gap in there on the forehand side, and yes, around the back he goes.
Be happy with a multiple like that to start off the first end.
So, final bowl of this second elimination final. The winner carries on, the loser is done for BPL 21.
Scotty on the draw. Is it a tighter line?
It's slightly tighter, but it's still not going to get back. Added a bit of weight. Yep. So, 3 removed, and they're going to go looking for that 4th that you were looking at, Chrissy. Not sure that'll quite get in there, but we'll see. Just with the slight angle that bowl's on, not favour the one that's straight up and down. And I would be wrong. It is 4 to the Gold Coast Hawks. They get underway in fine style. Wow. When we talk about an advantage to the Pioneers having been on the rink, well, the Hawks said, we're not worried about that.
No, and
Crowded the jack.
like you said, it could be changing all the time. It could have changed in the 10 minutes between both games. So obviously it's suiting them at the moment.
Nathan Rice needs it to run home. Just going to come up a couple of feet short with his first. Found the line nicely, which is, the players look for that centre line, don't they, Chrissy? You get on a rink, first thing you want to do is find that centre line, and the weight comes from there.
That's right. Sometimes I find if you get the line, that's probably the easiest thing, and then it's having a feel for the weight.
Wayne Rudiger will do enough just to slide past there. It's actually quite a nice little setup for the Pioneers. It's going to force Nathan Rice to get around his own bowl now. He's on a nice sort of line again. He's on a nice sort of line again, is Nathan Rice.
Oh, what a shot.
Beautifully played.
See, both leads are playing different hands. You know, sometimes you'll see leads sticking to the same hand, but they're obviously trusting their instinct.
Sometimes that can come down to the different bowls they're using. Wayne Rudiger with a reply, gets past. Yes, he's done it. Little nudge of the jack as he went through and sat the shot bowl. Sometimes you can find a line on one hand that the opposition using a slightly different style of bowl might not quite find.
That's right. Yeah, 100%. And both boys here are using different brands of bowls, so that could be it.
Nothing there for Nathan Rice. Wayne Rudiger, I wouldn't mind if he can trail this jack and get it in behind those two bowls. Just get it to a little bit of safety. This one,
It's going to be in a good home if he does miss.
see the idea.
Yeah.
Clearly looking just to try and nudge that jack round the corner
Now,
onto a good home.
I don't know if I was imagining, but I had this in my head all week, that the hand that Nathan has chosen to play is just a touch quicker than the other hand. So it makes you think sometimes when you're swapping hands as a lead, you see a couple of the players just pulling up that little bit short.
Most of the players have felt that way.
Stick true to that.
Yeah, most of the players have felt that way, particularly going the other way. A lot of the players have
Yeah.
talked about the forehand going the other way, which of course is the backhand in this direction. Nick Brett is right in the zone here. How far has he pushed that bowl? Not quite far enough, but he has put it up on its edge.
Mighty
A little
effort.
easier to remove.
Got a couple of seconds there for his next one.
Amazing the difference when a bowl's sitting flat to sitting up on its edge. You know, you hit that with the same weight sitting up on its edge, it probably goes 2 rolls.
That's right. Scotty really wanting to change this up. It's looking far too open for Nicky.
Oh, Nick will be, you just expect that he'll be very close here with a similar sort of shot.
Certainly not shy with this one.
Is he getting down to the jack? He's very close, just on the outside.
Just missing, but also finishing in a good home for his next.
Movement of jack for Scotty would be a good result. Well, he's found another one in there. That's 2 shots. Just narrows the line now for Nicky to get to the jack. He just can't get as much of the jack. But how much of the jack do you need? Chrissy, this is very close. Oh, he's just got underneath, and that
Would have set that bowl if that one
exactly.
wasn't there.
That was the importance of that Scotty Thelborn bowl. The Pioneers with an opportunity to strike right back here. You drop a 4. The best way to repair it is to bounce back and score on the very next end.
Gonna run the jam.
I think it is.
What a shot.
Outstanding stuff from the Pioneers.
Little smirk there from Scotty. He's happy with himself.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be 3 shots. That is 3 shots on the board. And well, it's a high-scoring start to this one, Chrissy. 4-3 after 2 ends. No power plays involved.
No, exciting, and I'm sure the rest of the game will be too.
All right, Chrissy, look, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the rest of BPL 21 finals night. There's nothing like a BPL finals night, is there?
No, it's the best atmosphere. I can't wait to get out there and watch.
We're going to take a quick break here on The Bowl Show, but stick around for more action on the other side. Welcome back to The Bowl Show, all thanks to DrinkWise. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise, and Aero Bowls. Let's get back into the bowls action.
Certainly worth giving that a little try. And he squeezed the jack. There was all those yellow bowls waiting.
Yeah, he looked interested, wasn't far away from finding the gap. Hawks take the ends, and the first power play activated. Pioneers on the back foot. I knew that was coming from Les Carter.
Yeah, it was timely, wasn't it? They've got last bowl now. Accustomed to the coaches, of course, utilising the power play on most occasions when they've got the last bowl.
Great leading from Lurch on the previous end. Can he continue it?
Yeah, he's pretty well. Another couple of feet away.
So the Pioneers are the late set specialist. 11th for shots scored in ends 1 and 2. First for shots scored in ends 4 and 5.
Well, that's what they need in this set, isn't it?
I think
Sure is.
quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I know.
Right back, Lurchy now. Right back.
Nathan Rice has done really well here. He's found his way around his other bowl. And Rudy returned the favour. Well, he had the legs. So things are looking good here for the Gold Coast Hawks.
Service your caravan with the industry leaders, Titanium Caravans. Hawks are looking good. See off the power play here. The first set is nearly theirs.
Yeah, Adelaide really need to score this end. 5-end sets, they go so quickly. Well played, Nick Brad. That's really just tucked it in nicely. He's got to try and dead draw this, Scotty. There's no target, nothing to work off. He's got to draw as close as he can.
Let's see if he can do so. It's come under. Held things for Gold Coast.
Yeah, get to them. We'll just pass it, mate.
Wow, it's going to be another one. Later, needing a Scotty T special here. He's giving it a bit of chance. Hasn't made anything any easier.
Certainly hasn't.
Yeah, you just got to get a chance.
Just
there.
hoping
Get
to
back
maybe
there, you do,
play up
get
onto
past.
their closest bowl and get off the line or change things up, but it was just on the tighter side.
5 count for Nick Brett and the Hawks.
Right. Done well, mate. Hurry now. You done well, buddy.
So Scotty T, can he create some magic? He's got to just draw the shot. There's nothing else on. Got to get back.
Better line this time. Won't find the jack.
Oh,
Cut a couple out, mate.
Cut a couple out the call. But it's not what they wanted.
yeah, it's not. I don't think it's going to be enough. They really needed to win the end.
3 more for Gold Coast.
Stick around for more action on the Bowl Show after the break. Welcome back to the Bowl Show, all thanks to DrinkWise. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise, and Aero Bowls. Let's head back out to the rink.
Complete performance so far, but 2 shots the margin heading into 3. Adelaide far from out of it. They can turn it around with a big end.
Yeah, things can turn so quickly. It really only takes one end or, you know, one result to go well for you. We saw that in the first game, didn't we? We saw that drive from Scotty T, and he just got a little bit lucky getting their bowl up and converted ahead, which really was in favour of Tweed Ospreys. Play Pioneers, that you know they've only won one end so far throughout this match, but it takes the good bowls at the right time, and we've seen a lot of games change, and you know the last 2 ends of a set.
Up to you. It's not in your way, but I wouldn't want you to get the edge of it. I'd change it over.
Kelso played a great bowl with her first, just had to change hands onto the forehand this time. Hasn't phased her at all.
Wow.
Can play any hands.
Nancy Cottrell locked in.
Looking for contact. Oh, she's going to go right through that gap.
Same. Get to your own front one, real good, even here.
With 3 up on the walkover the previous ends. And she repeated. Sure can. Kelsey Cottrell.
Sure can.
Wonderful bowling.
Might have just covered the jack a little bit as well.
Tried weight from Caitlin.
Oh, she got one out. That was a good effort.
Australia's premier in-home care provider. The right care, right at home.
So there's another head that's sort of favouring more the Gold Coast. Bowls in good areas. Kelso's been setting them up really well, getting there first. Just falling a little bit short. Interested to see here, does Scotty run at it or does he try and draw? I think this looks like he's running. He's got to get down a little bit.
Got things to work with. They can dislodge the jack. Brett will look to cut some out here. If the Pioneers can trail the jack.
Yeah, I think Scotty's almost going to be forced now to try and draw it. There's not really a target at all now. Pretty handy sider. Brett looking to get one right on top. Or a little nudge out of that one. Well, that's Kelso closer. Makes the job harder for Scotty T.
Really puts the pressure on. To avoid being 4 down, they're going to use all of this shot clock to find the right avenue.
It's a pretty key in right now. Try and there's almost nothing to kind of run at either, so I feel like he's almost got to just try and draw it. Well, it looks like draw weight. Scotty T on the forehand. It's got to hold. Got to hold. His weight would have been okay.
Could be another big end for Gold Coast here. Pioneers pull the power play, they had to. And Clive Adams continuing the Perth Suns trend in the commentary box.
Yes, we've just got the tape out to see exactly how many this is, Liam. And the power play called for the Pioneers, and that is going to be a crucial element of this match right now. Just checking on this final measure. Looks like it might be 3. Well, there you go. 3 it is to the Hawks, and they now lead at 5-0 after 3 ends of this second set. Of course, they won the first set 12-3. Warren Holt is with me. This power play for the Pioneers is going to be crucial.
Stick around for more action on the Bowl Show after the break. Welcome back to the Bowl Show, all thanks to DrinkWise. You won't miss a moment if you drink Wise, and Aero Bowls. We now head back to our competitors on the green.
100% Clive, they don't win this and basically it's almost game over.
Yeah, well, absolutely. So, well, it is. They need to win this end. So, Kelsey started very well there. Mate, how's your first BPL experience been?
Oh, look, everything that everyone told me it was going to be. It's fast-paced, it's exciting, you're playing against the world's best. And you haven't got time to, you know, contemplate or think about wins or losses.
Not much time to do anything, is there? You just got to try and get close. It's one of those. Was there anything that's really surprised you about the BPL? I like asking this question of the newer players. You know, you would have watched a bit of it at home, no doubt. And is there anything that's really surprised you about it?
No, probably not. All the expectations coming in are pretty well what I thought. I mean, the level of bowls is just incredible. So you know, you have to be on your game. Yeah, no, everything's been amazing.
Excellent. All right, Caitlin Inch here will expect a change to the backhand side. Looks like it. Yep, backhand it is. So this end now crucial for the Pioneers. They really need 2. They would double that to 4, and that would still need them requiring 2 shots to get us to a tie break. It's been an amazing performance by the Hawks. We talk about You know, we talked a lot in the lead-up about the fact that the Pioneers had been on the rink and the Hawks hadn't, but they just haven't missed a beat. It's interesting that their record on the TV rink coming in, the Hawks, was 2 wins from 5. We've talked about the rink changing a little bit. That might have played quite nicely into the Hawks' hands.
It's looking that way, doesn't it? Kelsey's played amazing.
Another player that is just never far away is Kelsey Cottrell. That's done enough for shot. As signalled on the rink.
Still a chance there. She gets just in and behind. Give Scotty a shot.
And Caitlin looking up the line a little bit more with this. She's going to need to have the weight to hang on to that line. She's close. Bowl up to bowl.
Good work.
Bowl up to Jack even. That'll do. Only issue with that, and that bowl at the back of the rink has stayed on, so that's actually quite useful for the Pioneers as well. The only issue is it's sitting a little bit proud for Nick Brett here to come down and trail this Jack round the corner and make this very, very hard for the Pioneers. Any move of that Jack, Warren, and it's going to be hard work for the Pioneers.
Look, if he gets this around the corner, it's going to put Scotty in all sorts.
Just going to hold around the outside of the Jack. So now there is just nothing other than Scotty T must count. You'd think with one of these next 2 bowls at the very least.
This hand has been holding off, but it seems to have a little bit more of a pull on it tonight, what I've noticed.
Things are a little different tonight. There is no doubt about it. That has fallen in, and that will do to count. So that's currently, essentially, it's currently 4 shots to the Pioneers at the moment, if that's in. Kelsey just having a look and wasn't so convinced. Nick Brett, what's he got? He's got the gap. Well, that definitely counts now.
Get there first.
So that is definitely 2 doubling to 4 at the moment for the Pioneers, and maybe this one's not over just yet. Scotty just has to forget about any targets or anything like that. He must draw to count here, and then they've just got to cross their fingers and hope that Nick Brett can't convert. He's in the area again. I think that counts. It does. So it's 3 doubling to 6 at the moment. 6 down as Nick Brett heads back to play the final bowl of his on this end. Scott Colborne still has 1 in the bag. Well, it's weight from Nick Brett.
Close.
He's got the Jack. He's got the Jack. It's bounced forwards. And wait and see. No signal yet as to who's got the shot. Now suddenly that ball out the back of Caitlin Inch is useful for the Pioneers, and Jack movement is required, well, actually either way for the Pioneers. You can bounce it.
It's definitely a shot on.
Chips it across. Either way. Needs it to hang on. Which way is it going? Jack has gone out to the side. Well, how many is it? It's at least 1 to the Pioneers. That'll keep them alive. They need 2. Can't get 2. 1 will double to 2 for the Pioneers. Puts them on the board in the second set, but they now need 4 shots to stay alive in the match. The Hawks call their power play. That won't matter. It's 4 shots required for the Pioneers to stay in BPL 21 contention. Warren, the next match coming up, the Jets feature. Jets has been a pretty apt name for that team this week.
They have been amazing. Paul Foster has just been something extraordinary. I think Disco has been every bit as extraordinary.
We're talking about all-star team nominations, and I haven't seen anything, so I can comment, but you'd almost say that the Jets could be the all-star team of BPL 21. It can't happen that way because the voting system doesn't really allow it, but they've just, all 3 of them have been outstanding.
I mean, it is a system, but I wouldn't be opposed to putting that side straight through as the MVP. They've been amazing, all 3 of them.
It's amazing, Warren, how the BPL goes in streaks. You know, the Pulse, who they'll feature in the next matchup, won 8 of their last 9, whereas we just saw the Ospreys go out having lost their last 6.
Yeah, that momentum is a big thing, you know, in any sport, but this particularly, for whatever reason.
They just stack on top of each other, don't they? The good vibes, or unfortunately the bad vibes as well.
Gets in your head a bit. The Pulse have been, you know, they've played great against us. Barry's led up well. Gary's been in sublime form as well. And
we've got a Commonwealth Games singles gold medalist in that team as well, in Ellen Fife.
Oh, and every time I've seen Ellen, she's been equally as good as the boys. So it'll be, this will be a fantastic contest.
Right now, it's the Pioneers searching for a miraculous result here. They need 4 shots to stay alive. They will have the option to kill the end up their sleeve. They can do that. They can nominate to do that once, if required. Of course, they can stack them around the jack.
That's a good shot.
Have to worry about that. Well, the first task is Caitlin Spells had to reach, didn't they?
Yeah, she's building something there, so it's still on. Unlikely, but on.
Kelsey Cottrell.
She wouldn't want to frame it with the last thing.
Well, I think she'd love to just pass and get in amongst those bowls of Caitlin Inch.
Oh, that's a great shot. Played it perfect.
That is outstanding. It just goes to show that it's not always about being right next to the jack. So many intricacies that go into how you position this up, especially when you're in defence mode here, which the Hawks are. They're not worried about getting shot. They're worried about making sure there's no opportunity for the Pioneers to get forward. Well, it's another one at the back.
Still there.
For the Pioneers. There is a shot through there where perhaps you could move the jack and get that Hawks bowl at the back. So perhaps another one behind would be the order for the Hawks. That's not going to happen here. It wouldn't surprise me to see Scotty chase the jack with this bowl, get the jack back into the ditch, and then he's just got to worry about that Hawks bowl that's back there. So expect this as Waite looking for the jack. He's in the area for it. Just missed. Just missed. Gobbled up the jack with that one. Things would have got interesting. Now, it's about weighing up their chances. Do they believe they're a chance at 4 shots? If they don't, then they nominate the kill. What's the chances of getting that shot, jack, and getting to the back bowl of the Hawks? Alternatively, do they nominate a kill and try again?
I think Caitlin said it. The shot is there.
They've nominated the kill.
They have done it, have they?
So I think they're going with the more
It is the easier shot.
realistic option. And of course, it could still come off playing this way. It hasn't. And that is going to be 2 shots to the Hawks. They'll double it to 4, courtesy of their power play. And really, that's an outstanding display from the Hawks. They win at 12-3, 9-2, Warren, and they move on. And they'll still have a dream of getting to a BPL 21 final. They will wait and find out who loses in the next match between the Jets and the Pulse. And that's who the Hawks have to beat for a grand final appearance.
Yeah, well, they've got momentum behind them. They'll have the game off to watch and recoup, and it's there for them.
Warren, congratulations on your first BPL, mate. Thank you for joining me. And we've got Lindsay down there with Nick Brett.
We do. Thank you, Clive. Nick, hitting form at the right time.
Yeah, finally getting into some straps, really, finding out like the real Nicky Brett's turned up for a change.
Tell us how nice to win that game and in straight sets as well.
Oh, Kels and Lurch played brilliant. I mean, all day today, you know, we were behind the 8 ball come last night. You know, they both came out and played brilliant this morning, which set us up for a good day and hopefully may continue.
Nice. So you get a little bit of a break now. What's the plan? Just sit and relax? Are you going to tune in and watch this one?
Tune in and watch. Yeah, might even do a bit of commentary if they need me.
Oh, nice. Lovely. All right, well, relax. We look forward to seeing you later on tonight.
Thanks very much.
Thanks, Nikki.
Well, what a match that was. Join us on the other side of the break for the Bowl Show Awards. Back soon. Welcome back to the Bowl Show, all thanks to Bowls Australia and powered by Drinkwise and Aero Bowls. Unfortunately for the Pioneers, Val, the Hawks were just too good in the end and had it all their own way.
Yeah, look, they were way too good. And this was a bit of history for the Gold Coast Hawks because they hadn't actually won a final in their return to the BPL. They came back at BPL 14, had won it in BPL 7, and hadn't been able to win a final. They'd only played one since their return. So an amazing performance from the Gold Coast Hawks to finally break through. They're in the top 3 now and all to play for.
There we go. So as we wrap up this match, Val, let's get into our Bowl Show Awards. Starting off with the play of the day, all thanks to Titanium Caravans, going off-road and off-grid in total luxury. What did you pick out as the play of the day?
Well, it was a mixture. I think a lot of Kelsey Cottrell's bowls were very, very good. And the way that she was able to set up the heads early and not give the Adelaide Pioneers the chance to set up any heads or to set up any leads, she just outdrew everybody and she was on absolute fire throughout the entirety of the tournament. In particular, this match, she was brilliant.
And now the moment of the match, all thanks to Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. What was the moment of the match?
The fourth end of the Hawks in the second set, you know, they're up 5-0. They've got things pretty sorted. Defending a power play, Jordan, and then all of a sudden Nick Brett gets a bit of fortune here with where the jack goes, but you know, jacks don't regularly come forward, but you know when you're missing in the right areas, or you're not really missing, but you're hitting the jack in the right areas, it's all going to come out. It's all going to come out quite well, and they were able to seal the match from there.
Well, there we go. That is it for today's edition of the Bowl Show. It's the end of the road for the Pioneers, but the Hawks move on. And make sure to check out the Aero Bowls collection, including their Actuality logo. You can personalise your set of Aero Bowls with any logo you wish. Aero's patented process prints onto your bowl permanently in full colour. And next week, Val, very exciting, we get to see the Geelong Jets in their first ever final in the BPL competition. So this is going to be a great occasion and a great match.
Paul Foster, Aaron Wilson, Jamie Lee Warsnop, and you'll hear it next week. The Geelong Jets fans, they are so loud, Jordan. It's great.
Yeah, excellent. Can't wait for it. Thank you again for being with us today, Val. A pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. It's all mine, Jordan.
And we'll see you again next week. We'll see you again next week right here on The Bowl Show. The Bowl Show would not be possible without the generous support of Drinkwise. You won't miss a moment if you drink wise. OMF, sleep deeper, recover faster, perform stronger. Wake up refreshed, energised and ready to dominate every game. Audica, your hearing is our expertise. Right at home, the right care right at home. Australia's premier in-home care provider. Titanium Caravans, service your caravan with the industry leaders, Titanium Caravans. Aero Bowls, the same line every time. And of course, Bowls Australia.